Anxiety and worry. These are things that are just ravaging our world in 2020. So let's talk about that on week 3 of Discover Transformation. We believe that as we take these weekly Bible investments, think about them and wrestle them through and apply them to our life, we believe that this truth will help us grow and navigate life in 2020. So anxiety and worry, let's go. First off, this week we're not talking about clinical anxiety. And if that's something that you wrestle with, we hope that you can get some good help through some counselors or professionals, psychologists that can help you through that. We're just going to talk about the day-to-day worries that we're facing in 2020 as life changes, as life is scary and COVID-19 is going on and financial things are going on and job changes are going on and life is hard. So here we go. What does the Bible have to say about anxiety and worry? Let's flip over to Matthew chapter 6. This is where Jesus is giving his famous Sermon on the Mount, teaching and gathered a crowd, and he was teaching on a various number of things in life. So here we go. Matthew chapter 6, verse 25. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or stow away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about your clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even King Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow thrown in the fire, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith? So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. And here's the key verse, but seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. So really the big idea here this morning for us is, with worry, God is telling us, Jesus is teaching us, that we should seek first his kingdom. Now, what does that mean? Well, God's kingdom is his good rule and reign. And when we trust in the person of Jesus, we are submitting to his way. We are submitting to his kingship. We are trusting in him. So living and seeking first his kingdom is giving control of the steering wheel of our life and letting God take that position, and we take the co-passenger seat. We're still in the car on the journey, but suddenly God is in charge and driving. Now, when it comes to worry, we are really thinking about provision, making sure that we have enough, and we're thinking about protection. We're thinking that I want to be safe, I want to be okay. And so what we do is we try and take control. We try and make things happen so that we won't worry. But the funny thing about worry is that the heart that starts to worry, it starts to view the world and everything in it like these glasses. Suddenly, all my vision is filtered through my worry. Everywhere I go, all I see is through this lens. Everything I think about is through this lens. And as I start to worry, I start to think I need to work it out for myself. I need to provide for myself. I need to protect myself, my family. And Jesus' teaching is opposite. It's that we should seek first his way, to trust God that he is providing, and to trust that he will protect us. So a few quick thoughts. First, is this just the same as trusting in karma, or just trusting in the universe that everything is going to be okay? Well, first, I want to address that. Let's say that you are trusting in karma. For myself personally, I haven't researched this a ton, but I think karma is mostly if you're making a lot of good choices, it's going to come back to you. Well, if anyone knows me personally, I think my life is opposite of that, because we seem to have the most bad luck of anyone we know, yet we are trying to live a very genuine life. And then secondly, trusting the universe. I think the universe is very blind and impersonal as a force. Whereas when we trust that God is going to work things out, we're trusting in an actual person of Jesus. We're trusting in the God who has revealed himself in Jesus and given us his spirit, that we tangibly, personally experience peace in the midst of worry. So that's where I think that's a little bit different. And so when we're talking about worry this morning, we're not just saying try harder not to worry. I don't think that works. I think that's, almost impossible. The good news of Christianity is that we can never try hard enough to get there. The good news of Christianity is that Jesus comes and takes our place on the cross, and through that freedom, through that gift that we don't deserve, forgiveness and right relationship with God, is that he takes the place in our life, and then he gives us his peace in the midst of worry, in the midst of troubles, in the midst of hardship. So lastly, does trusting in God for his provision and his protection mean that nothing bad is ever going to happen to us? Well, once again, I think just look at my life. It's kind of crazy. It's upside down. It's hard. It's uphill. We always got bad stuff going on. But the Bible teaches that through these things that we grow deeper in our trust and faith with God. The Bible teaches that as we face challenges, that we will grow and trust and experience more joy and develop our character and perseverance and hope. And in fact, that we should almost expect that there are going to be hardships along the journey. It's just a reality of this life. So, in our worry, as we trust God, as we trust his kingship, as we trust him for provision and him for protection, it doesn't mean that it'll be foolproof, and it doesn't mean that nothing bad will ever happen. But what it does mean is that God's presence will be with us to sustain us in all these things. And we take it one day at a time. We trust God for today. And then tomorrow we wake up and we trust God for today. And then the next day we wake up and we trust God for today. So as I close, we seek first his kingdom, his ways, and being in right relationship with God through Jesus. So, discussion questions for this week. First, where do you wrestle with anxiety? What's anxiety like for you? What's on your mind and heart these days? And what do you need to release to God today, just to give those anxieties about finances, about COVID, about your health, about whatever? What do you need to release to God today? And third, mental health is real and it's important, and we want to take that serious. So who can you reach out to and help? Who do you know in your realm that could use some encouragement today, that maybe is struggling with mental health, and would love to hear some stories about how you impacted somebody. All right, thanks folks. Thanks for tuning in.